you know what?
Exciting.
I was always obviously just as a fan and a someone who's involved in the scene, but also someone who just kind of watches and likes to follow the storylines and stuff. I always, you know what? I rated like you're one of the only people that man see you do like a podcast and that with Bagnall and that, and then like still battle for Don't Flop and that. Like, was that hard for you, bro? Because obviously I know a lot of people say they didn't or whatever, but I know obviously a lot of people have been encouraged not to fuck with Don't Flop, don't support anything does. And I think a lot of people feel like if they do, they're jeopardizing their relationships with people like CRUGER and Bagnall, etc. I've had it like the other day, I put a thing about loyalty or something, and then some random like unknown battle rapper Bray was like, oh, don't you think that's ironic because you were with Don't Flop kind of thing? And I was like, but I was just as much friends with her as I was with, if anything, I was closer to her than I was to CRUGER and Bagnall and that. So to me, it's like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. I'm not dissing nobody. I'm not trying to see anyone down, and I'll give anyone support. And do you get me? Like, it's not, I don't feel like I'm picking sides or going against someone, but I feel like a lot of people do, innit?
Yeah, I feel like there's nothing wrong with respecting people or treating people how they treat you. Do you know what I mean? Because there's gonna be a lot of if you fall out with people because they fell out with your friend, you'll end up with no friends. So I think as long as I know I'm doing what I believe is correct, then I can sleep at night. I think the only problem I ever have with that is me a little bit worried about what the actual people think, what CRUGER and Liam think when I'm doing business with her or hang with her.
But that's what I'm saying, because you've done that and then still gone and done podcasts and stuff with them, man. Like, has that conversation never come up?
No, I mean maybe on a drunk one I might have been like, I hope you guys are okay with it, you know what I mean, like kind of thing or something. But I've like I said, it's what I believe. So even if they did, it's like you guys are all my friends or whatever. Or until anyone's that had a problem with me personally, like, you know what I mean. Or if I had problems with her and I'll be verbal about it. But he's never really business wise, other than the little thing before. I've never had a problem with her. And to be honest with you, when the reason I went for the title. And once I got the title, my main aim was, how can I build bridges? So that's always been a thing for me, is like, can I build bridges? And although I haven't really been successful in the fact, so I mean, it's only early days, right? But I haven't been successful in making Don't Flop and Premier Battles have like an event together or something. But you know, I think I've helped a little bit in bringing old talent back to Don't Flop or new faces to Don't Flop this year. So I think I've been like helpful in the rebuild of Don't Flop and let people know it's okay, you know.
I was saying to someone the other day, like, I think it's you Quill, because obviously I've got friends that watch battle rap. I don't really understand the politics. So I was breaking it down to my brethren the other day, innit? And I was like, to be fair, like the only main guys that had that kind of stuck with him and still battled was like you, Gemini, and Shuff. I'd say like at the top brares that could have easily just said, you know what, fuck that. Man's only going to Prem now. Boom, 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 fuck her. But like, because obviously like when you break it down, again, I know that there was an interview when you asked Tony and that, but like Tony hasn't been on Don't Flop since the fallout. At the end of the day, whether that's because ain't booked him or because he hasn't spoke to O'Shea hasn't been on Don't Flop since the fallout. There's key figures that have lost, like Don't Flop have lost completely.
On the flip side of that, though, I also do think it's okay to have that perspective as well, though. I do think it's okay to have the perspective of like, you know, these are my friends and, you know, what you did is I don't agree with you treating my friends like that, and therefore I can't associate with you. So I although this is how I perceive it, I also respect the other perception of it as well. So I just think I don't think there's a right or wrong way to react to it, if that's the two ways, in my opinion. I just think you make your choice. And I do think over time maybe it makes it easier to then go back. And I think, you know, I think we've if we're to grow in any way in life, we have to build bridges. So I think now looking forward, maybe with time going, maybe you can see an O'Shea come back, or you can see a Tony D come back. You know, it'll be great for everyone.
Definitely. And like I'm saying, like people like you and Jem, it's good to see like even Jem, he's battling on Premier Battle's biggest event of the year and Don't Flop's biggest event of the year in the same month. And that's the other battlers can look at that and say, all right, cool, if he's done that, then maybe I can as well, innit? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I don't see why not now. So, you know, why not? And you can only grow. Like, I don't see why you'd want to only stick to one league. I mean, I'm not saying you have to just battle all the time on Don't Flop, but there is certain things where it can 100% benefit you as well. And there's a different fan base there. Let's not forget how many subscribers this was. It 400 something thousand, 100,000 subscribers or something. I know, like, you know, maybe a lot of them are not active now, but still, let's not underestimate that. So
definitely, it's got a legacy imprint in it, man. Like, some people, they want to battle on Don't Flop for their bucket list because they grew up watching it, and regardless, like, it still means a lot to them to be able to battle on Don't Flop.
Oh man, for me to say I'm the Don't Flop champion, man, I was like, sometimes it just hits me. I'm like, you know what, man, I'm like, you know how much I love Don't Flop, and I'm the champion. Like, it's like no one can take that away from me. You know, whatever happens now, I can look back in 20 years or whatever and say, you know, I dedicated my life to something for 10 years and I became the champion of it. So no one can take that away from me, and I'm proud of that. So maybe we hold a bit more, because we, you know, maybe some of the newer faces weren't there when Don't Flop was about, so we might hold a bit more sentimental value to it.
Definitely.
But it's still here, and I'm trying to make it grow, because I think the UK grows as a whole. Like I said, it's the biggest month in UK history. Would it be the biggest month if it was just the Premier Battles event? No, you'll be saying that's a huge event. But now we're saying this is the biggest event, biggest month in history, and it is.